Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Friday, November 1st, 2024. We know November is going to be a very eventful month. The peek ahead I did a couple of days ago told us that. Now, I've been trying to be very selective about the content I put out. I don't want to spend too terribly much time on politics because I'm going somewhere, and I hope you are too, where there really won't be a need for very much of it, if at all. In the meantime, we have to live with the system that's going, and we need to, I think, always be careful to say, hey, the energy I take to participate in this existing system does not mean I want to contribute any energy to its continuation any longer than necessary. Okay, talk about starting with a woo, huh? I'm going to take you to a compilation. I was looking at a few things that happened in the last couple days. They seem to be a little diverse, but I think we're going to come to a question that we'd like to ask the universe. So without further ado, let me take you to that share screen, which, if it interests you, it is simply a compilation that is on Facebook. So the comments are where you'll find the links. And again, I just have to do it this way because of the complicated world we're living in at the moment. So let me take you to that. Yesterday, our 45th president showed up in dark MAGA gear. Okay. It caused a lot of comment and speculation, as most of his, when there's a wardrobe switch or change, or anytime there's repeated things said, there's a lot of things we've learned over time to clue in on and see if there's actually some symbolism or a coded message being shared with us. Now, moving on from, because we'll get back to that outfit here. The yesterday, the same day that Mr. Trump showed up in the dark MAGA gear, the Department of Defense put out this tweet. Color of the Core talks about the Marines and a 7 week uh, training objective that they're working on. I thought it was really interesting. And here's what I thought was interesting. Look at all the green. Look at all the green that's going on in this picture. I wondered if that was somewhat significant, and I'm not the only one. I noticed in the comments other people were saying the same thing. Now, if you look at some of the 17 posts, post number 206 talks about can't wait for the green light. Teams on standby. So you can see where we're going with this. We've got a lot of green showing up in the Department of Defense post. There's the 17 post talking about waiting for a green light. Now, this may not be related at all, but I thought it was really interesting, and I want to be very clear. This is not a 17 post. This is a rather well-known post that showed up on 4chan years ago that has been attributed possibly to RFK Jr. And I just loved how it was phrased. It was supposedly giving us some of the information of how the family woke up to some of what's going on, and keeps talking about how learn to play nice with each other or be left behind. We need every one of us is part of this post. And I think it's this in this pivotal time, this is a good reminder of us. We need to play nice with each other. We have friends who are awake to some subjects and not others, and that's okay. That's where they're at. I know I've been selective and kind of opened my mind up to things topic by topic. And it would have been a disservice to me if someone just wrote me off simply because I wasn't yet willing to look at a topic which maybe for me was difficult or I just wasn't ready for, whatever it might be. So just a reminder, as we get into these pivotal times, further and further, and to some changes, play nice with each other. And it talks about being prepared. Just a good thing to read. Now, here's an interesting delta. You know, delta means an anniversary. On this day in 2017, here's what was posted on 17. It's post number 31. World stalemate. We all have the goods on everyone else. That's part of the reason why some things that tie back to foreign heads of state will remain classified. Not all. We're in one of the most critical times of our country. Trump and others are working to balance the we're doing well for America. Now that's a little that wasn't me misreading it. That's the way it's worded, and I don't know if that's significant, but I'm sharing that with you. Again, that sentence reads, Trump and others are working to balance the we're doing well for America for the common person to endorse, while at the same time purify our government and remove the bad actors who are entrenched. There is so much string pulling and blackmail that we need to cut these off to truly gain the power granted to us by the patriots and hardworking people of this great country. So this may be an important delta. If not, it's just a reminder that for years there's been an ongoing and a very dedicated effort being made to get rid of a lot of entrenched evil. Okay, now one anon commented this. This isn't me. It'll show up as me in the comments, but it says Trump has gone dark MAGA. We're at Checkmate, people, with an exclamation mark. Now, I shared this next item was the post that shows him with the dark MAGA gear coming down. Looks like in this one, the in this video, the neckline's open, which is, that's the Trump impersonator that I have a crush on, the guy with the big neck. And then the final thing I wanted to share was this post 523, which simply says checkmate. So it looks like there's some significant color coding going on in the last 24 hours with the dark MAGA gear, the Department of Defense social post that had all the green, and then we have the checkmate. So if you've watched me for any length of time at all, God bless you. But mostly you'll know by this time that I do a lot of reading at diverse sites and different places. And I noticed that there was an article on Real Raw News today about how there's been some signaling being done by Mr. T about cleanup and changes. And so I thought we need to either ask about the green light aspect of this or the checkmate aspect. Based on the percentage of coverage, I'm going to go with the checkmate option. And let's ask the universe if there has been some signaling in the last 24, 48 hours by Mr. T and other white hats that we are indeed, we've got the deep state in checkmate, plus additional insights and information the universe wants us to know. I'll switch the camera. You can watch me work with the cards and we'll find out together what that answer might be. Okay, inquiring minds want to know, universe. Has there been some signaling on the part of Donald Trump or the person seen in the public eye as Donald Trump and other white hats and alliance members in the last 24, 48 hours that we do indeed have a checkmate situation going on against the deep state, plus additional insights and information you might want us to know? We'd like this information to be free of any veiling or obscuring that might have happened, other than for operational safety of those working in love and positivity and for the advancement of the human race. Okay, our first card is Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Six, yay. Love to see that six. Wreaths are victory signs. Six of Wands. Ooh, we got the Three of Swords. And then the Eight of Pentacles. Kind of an interesting mix here. Let's look at it from each perspective that the cards are giving us, plus what they're kind of telling me intuitively. First of all, at this point, I want those cards to stay in, but I am going to grab a few more, so I want you to be able to see them. Okay, the situation is being shown by the Queen of Wands. And that she is a card of accomplishment. So right there we have a nod to the in the affirmative. On our question was, has there been some signaling going on the part of Team Trump and the alliance and white hats? And yeah, we've got an accomplishment thing going. In fact, they're really happy with the situation. The Nine of Cups always indicates a deep feeling of satisfaction with whatever the situation is or how it's resolving. Now, if we didn't know that it is a reference to the military type of strategies that are being engaged and employed, we would know it with the Knight of Pentacles showing up here, which is a card of military action and very, very well considered action, stable. You want this guy doing the planning and executing some complicated maneuvers and plans. Absolutely. So we've got accomplishment, stable guidance and military action going on that they're very happy about. Boom. Let's look at the current. There's more to come. Okay. Whatever they're happy about, there is more to come. And it's not just a matter, this is kind of the Laura's intuition part of it. It's not just a matter of starting to disclose things. There's more to come. Okay. We've got a lot to learn and a lot to be told about. And the time is coming for those unveilings. Now, why do I say that? We've got the Six of Wands. Usually a card, like I said, of victory. But look here, our biggest insight card here is we have to be aware. I think this card is telling us that there are still a lot of stand-ins in positions of power and authority that weren't placed there by the white hats as placeholders. But some, like think of billionaires that push certain health protocols and buy up farmland, who were placed in their place by the deep state. So they're still having to contend with some of those, the fact that there are, and some are just hard to catch because there's so many duplicates of them. I've heard that there's been some real difficult times getting a hold of a couple people and finding out that, after a lot of surveillance and finally making the capture, they indeed have a duplicate or a double or a clone going on. So the work they're continuing. There's no loss of energy for what we're having. Stable military action, a lot of hard work still in process with more to be reaped. Okay. And just a mindfulness that there are still some tricky characters out there that are trying to slow the process of dark to light and trying to disprove what we know to be true, that God wins and nothing can stop what is coming. Let's get a few more cards and see what they have to say. Hello, Mr. Emperor. And then Temperance showing up side by side, two major arcanas. Another major arcana, the 17th one, the Star, three major arcanas. And then boom, we have the Seven of Cups. So let's look at what those are telling us. We got accomplishment, they're happy about it. Stable military action has been very successful. There's more to come. They know that they've got some opposition still and some lies. We know that for whatever reason, right now, the media is still allowed to not report the truth. And so they know that, but they're still diligently working at things. Why? Because nothing can stop what is coming. And this is what's coming, okay? We're going to have a return of Mr. Trump to political office officially and publicly. Now, it may not be immediate, but it is going to happen. So I know that Kim Clement prophesied that he would have a second term, and he's always ended up being very, very accurate. And there's a couple of others that have talked about this, and the cards have just been telling me, watch, watch. Now we need to kind of understand that we need to have reasonable expectations. It would be ridiculous not to think that the shenanigans going on with our balloting isn't going to have an impact or need to be overridden or corrected in some way. So I'm not getting caught up in it. Since I early voted, the 5th is just another day for me. And I figure, with the shenanigans going on, it's going to be a little while before things shake out and we get a true conclusion to that whole process. And I'm fine with it. When it happens, it happens. The Star, 17 major arcana, and the star always shows up when things are falling into place. That we've got every reason to be optimistic and hope, and just to use our discernment and say, I'm not engaging in these shenanigans or anxiety-provoking articles, whatever it might be. I get links after links from people. If I watched every link you guys sent me, there's not enough hours in the day. But I tell you what, when it looks like, when I can tell within 30 seconds it's going to be something negative, I don't have time for that. Okay? I've got my information base. And if I need to add to it, I will, even if it's not happy news. But I'm not going to wallow in bad news. So, and I would suggest that for you also. Why do I say that? Because besides it being Laura's view, look here, we've got the Seven of Cups talking about choices. Again, you have a choice to engage, to choose where your energy goes and to what purpose it goes. It's always good and wise to learn. As I said, I'm participating in the current um, political schema here in the United States, but not giving it permission to last 1 second longer than it needs to. That my energy is not going to slow any process of change, beneficial and loving and good change for the human race that might be coming our way. And I would suggest you too be very mindful about where you send your energy and understand you can very specifically direct where that energy goes. So let's wield those power tools we've got, guys, of love and light and directed energy. The good kind, the good kind, the human kind. Let's recap. We were looking at a wide variety of sources, and among those were the fact that yesterday, for the first time ever, to my knowledge, Donald Trump showed up at a rally wearing dark MAGA gear. The same day, the Department of Defense put out a conglomerated social posting about some actions involving our beloved Marines, and there was a lot of green that was associated with those postings. Now, there was an anon that said that when Trump showed up as Dark MAGA, we're at Checkmate people. And I gave some links so you could watch those if you're not frequently over on X as it is. We looked at a couple of 17 posts. One that was a Delta for today that talked about how we should, how the it's been a long fight. There were deeply entrenched energies that had to be, and entities and individuals that have had to be dealt with. And I shared one posting that was not a 17 post. I want to be very clear about that. It came from 4chan, and but it was, I thought it had some good information on it. And it's been attributed to RFK Jr. Don't know if that's true or not, but it looks to me like it's something that if he hadn't written it, he would have given a thumbs up to it anyway. And part of that was saying we all need each other in this fight and moving ahead and changing our world, and we have to learn to play nice with one another. And so I just kind of reminded everybody, just if you have a friend, I have several friends that aren't quite as far as I am awake, and I've got one that I'm trying to catch up with her. Be gentle with each other. We need each other, okay? If the fact that they're in any way willing to look at the world with the programming off and looking at some truth and accepting it, I mean, we need one another. So let's do that. So the universe was asked, hey, is this all saying that we've got the green light that we're at checkmate, as that one anon said? We got situation was indicated by the Queen of Wands, which is a card of affirmation. So there we go. The very nice clarifier that told us more said, and they're really happy about it. So yes, and they're happy about it. Okay, they have seen some definite progress. Why? Because in the recent past, there's been stable military planning and action that has had the results that they hoped for. Now, the results that they've got aren't all that they will have or that we will have. Because remember, this is a process of changing our world, not just one country, from dark to light, changing the path of humanity so that it has more opportunities and potential to realize, and a lot going on and more to come. Near future, we are going to see even more This is our first near future card. Now, the qualifier about that was one that not a happy card. The Three of Swords talks about lies, and I felt like in this case, just a reminder that some of those bad actors are still out there, or if they're a duplicate, have been placed there not by the Alliance. And I know that I've heard some reports of when they've picked up what they thought might be a big name and they found out it was really a duplicate, someone in a skin mask or a clone. And so that happens too. They're still out there. So we have to know that while the cleanup's going well and the pickups have been happening, there's more to come. Now, what's coming? Further insight came the Emperor. This is my big white hat card. It almost always refers to Mr. T. And so it's just a firm affirmation again that it may not happen in quite the way we expect or hope, but he is going to be back publicly in office. And Temperance card was the one that told me, hey, and it may not happen in the way you think or the way you hope, but it is going to happen. Okay, there's teamwork, there's just a big agreement. There's more to come. Again, they're working hard. That will continue, and there's going to be more of a reaping of the benefits of the cleanup and those that have stayed true to the purpose of not just simply replacing one power structure with another, but doing a cleanup. Because again, this is just a reminder to all white hats out there. The goal is to work yourself out of a job. Clean things up so well that to the extent that we currently have it, or even only a fraction of it is needed in the future to keep things running well and have human life honored and safe and what have you. So the best way, work yourself out of a job, okay? We'll help you retrain. You won't have to learn how to code. Okay, the star showed up. Just a alliance card. If you just look at this as what it means in tarot, it's a hope card. Things are moving along. We have every reason to be optimistic. Okay? Realistically optimistic. Understanding that there's still some pushback, there's still some nefarious things that go on, and we know that we get nefarious results that we're told are, valid. So there's still some gaming that has to be dealt with. And then in the coming days, as always, know that if there's some options for your attention, choose wisely. Okay. I shared that I did early voting in my state, and I'm done with that process. I'm really not, and I know we're not going to have any big results on the 5th, and I know that there's going to be shenanigans, and I'm just going to kind of wait for it to all shake out. But it sounds like with the green lights and the dark MAGA code, hints and things like that, it sounds like we should have reason to just stay quietly optimistic, okay? And know that, as I said, God wins and nothing can stop what is coming. Now, I'm going to have a short afterward that has nothing to do with politics or even tarot. Just going to talk with you guys for a minute if you want to stay. But if you were just here for the tarot reading and the political or current events aspect of this video, that concludes it for you. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you. If you need to resubscribe, you're not the only one. And I appreciate you very, very much. If you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye. Now, the afterword that I was saying has nothing to do with current events or politics. I just thought I'd share with you guys that there's times, I got a smile on my face and I'm really feeling upbeat and positive, but it has been in some ways a difficult week. Actually, October was a little difficult for me. Didn't talk about it, and you'd have no way of knowing it here as I make videos, but I injured my right knee and I was afraid I was going to need surgery. And thanks to just our loving creator. And the singing bowls of my moderator, Tess Castro, because once she knew about it, she got on that. And I didn't want to shout it out too much because I know there's some people watch that don't want good outcomes, and I didn't want that energy heading my way. But my knee's almost better, and I'm so happy about that. Get the knee just about better. It's like 80%. I still wrap it every day, and I have to use some anti-inflammatories, but hey, home stretch, definitely. And then I had a water main break under my house this week. And then I had my furnace worked on. And $1,000 later, I find out that $1,000 might get me through this winter and I'm going to have to replace it. And you know what? If it gets me through the winter, I've got some months to save some pennies and do some extra tarot reads, and I'll handle the expense because $8,000 to $10,000 for me is a big bunch of money. I mean, for some people it might not be, and for some people it'd be impossible. I'm lucky that it's just simply, significant and not impossible. And I just wanted to say I feel so blessed because I know nobody gets through life without some trouble. And I've learned over the years to just realize that I have to have my portion of it. And so I had to have a water main fixed, and I've had to deal with furnace repair and in a few months of replacement. But the way I look at it, it means there was something a lot worse. This was what I was given instead of something much worse to deal with. And it's all going to be okay. And I just wanted you to know that because I'm pretty upbeat and positive. And it's not always comes naturally. When it doesn't come naturally, I have it come intentionally. So I would encourage you to think about that. If you're not by nature a trait you want to be, you can, by intention, be that trait. And over time, the more you're intentionally, whatever it might be, positive or patient or kind or careful about your volume when speaking with others or whatever it might be, the more you do it intentionally, the more it actually starts becoming natural. So yeah, it's been in some ways a challenging month. It's been an expensive month, and I got through it. And I just thought I'd share that with you guys. So, not feeling sorry for myself. I'm just so thankful my knee is better. And I wanted to share that with you now that I could, now that I'm, like I said, on the home stretch of that. And maybe that's also just a reminder for you that people can be going through stuff and you have no idea. Because I bet, except for me telling Tess, and I may have told one other person about my knee, but the rest of you didn't know for this entire month. I've been in a lot of discomfort, and it hasn't been an easy month. But you know what? I got through it. And I'll get through the other difficult ones, and we'll do it together with smiles on our faces. And when we have bad luck, we're going to go, okay. I guess I was due for a little. That means things are going to change for the better really soon. So that's it for me for my little personal, sorry, just bump my laptop here. That's it for the addendum to my video. And if you stayed in for that, I thank you for listening to me. And I just wish you all the best. And I hope that everybody can just understand that life isn't always perfect and it isn't always easy, but it is always possible. And it's possible to have a really good spin as far as how you view the challenges you face. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be immediate, but it is possible. So until next time, which will be tomorrow if I stick to my schedule, because there's something I want to do a video about tomorrow. Now that I've got the water main fixed and the furnace is running and everything. So until next time, I send you love, light, and everything bright. If you're willing to receive it, if it's yours, if you're not, oh well, when you're ready, it'll be there for you. Love you guys. Bye.